Welcome back to the Horseman's Corner. We're on the last part of today's program. And with us on this part of the Horseman's Corner is a lady, Sunny Watterson, young lady from Sterling, Colorado, and she's raising Fjord horses. Gosh, let's talk about the Norwegian fjords. What got you interested in raising Fjord horses, Sunny?
Team of mares a few years ago, and they're just gentle. They were patient with me, and they're patient with everybody that interacts with them. And I didn't know a lot about driving, but I wanted to learn, and they were probably the best teachers.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Had these horses been driven before, or did you start them?
They had been driven before. Yep, they were a team. They hadn't been driven in some time. They had sat for a while, but they were just so willing. Their temperament is just, they love to learn. I ended up buying a stallion here just a couple years after that, and he is at training right now with Warren Thompson, and he's doing fantastic. They sent me a video an hour. He'd never been ridden. An hour later, they're sending me a video of him riding around their arena and everything. So just they really love to learn, and you can tell that they are engaged with their trainer and their people. So it's been a great experience.
How old is this stallion?
He's 4.
Well, that's a good age to start one. He'd not been ridden before you took him over to Warren's?
He had not been ridden. I had intended on it, but I broke my foot last year, so I kind of put things off, and then I realized, well, maybe I wasn't ready to go all in just yet after the foot injury. So, yeah, I sent him over to Warren, and he's just taken off from there. I went over, he's been there 3 weeks now, and I went over yesterday and watched him, and they had him out doing obstacles and walking over their little wooden bridge and everything, and just interested in learning, and just working with a horse like that is just fantastic.
How'd you break your foot? What the heck did you kick?
Oh, yeah, it's not an awesome story like that. I was just walking downstairs. So, no fun stories there. I turned my ankle walking down the stairs, and I caught myself with the side of my foot, and I guess you're not supposed to walk on that part. So,
well, gosh, I thought you could come up with some interesting, raising saving some kids from a burning house or something of that nature. But oh well. Anyway, let's get back to the Fjord horses. Give me a little more of the background of the Fjord horse, would you, and what size they are and the colors and that sort of thing.
So they're 14 hands is about the average. So they're small, but they're really a substantial horse. They're almost like a small draft horse. They really have a lot of substance. So, 14 hands is a short horse, but they can really carry the weight. They will hold up for it. And they're all done. They all different shades of dun, red duns, brown duns, white duns, all that, but they're all a dun color.
How old is this breed? What's some of the history of the breed? Have you gone into that at all? I'm not good with the memory of those things. I've read a lot about it, but it's hard for me to draw that up on demand. They're an old breed. They've been, I think, domesticated for something like 4,000 years. It's been, they've shown evidence of them for a long time, but I don't have the recall to just spout that out, unfortunately. But yeah, they've been around a long time, and you can tell that they have a good relationship with people. So, are there many Fjord horses in the United States, or do you have any idea?
So I don't know what the numbers are. I know that there are some challenges with finding unrelated breeding stock.
So to breed and register the foals, they can't have any common ancestors within 3 generations. And I know from looking that can actually be a significant challenge. So there are breeding animals, but unfortunately lots of them have similar genetics. So that can be a little bit of a challenge.
What are your plans? You've got a stallion, so what are your plans for this horse?
So I'm going to raise a few colts from him. From the 2 mares I have, and I love having them. I'm like, this is it. So I am going to stick with this breed. This is kind of my goal now, and I've just enjoyed every minute of it, and so that's my plan.
Okay, what are you going to crossbreed this Fjord stud with any other horses besides the 2 Fjord mares that you have?
So unfortunately, the registry is very particular about that. They do not want breedings outside of the Fjord breed. They don't. They want to preserve those bloodlines and preserve the breed. So they are very adamant that you not breed a stallion that you want to register babies from to other breeds of horses.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder why there's. It sounds like they'd make a good cross on. You'd wind up with some nice ponies for kids if you crossed with some small quarter horses. That'd make a nice cross, I would think.
I would think so too, and I think a lot of people think about that, but because their rules are so strict with it, I think people that's why you don't see a whole lot of crosses out there.
What do you do with the you drive your Fjord mares in parades, or or just drive them for fun?
Yeah, I just drive them for fun.
You don't haul any hay or anything else with them, huh?
Just myself and the kids, and they're bred right now. They're fixing to have their foals here in the next 2 weeks. So,
that'll be interesting. But that's one thing from what you're telling me with the Fjords. You don't have to wonder too much about the color because it's going to be a dun.
Yes, correct.
Hey, give me some of your background in the horse world, would you? Because before you got into this, you must have been involved with horses in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, yeah, over the years, I've worked for some different people. When I first came to Colorado, I worked for a lady up in Longmont. She raised national show horses, and I did that for a while, and I enjoy horses, and, no matter what the breed, I definitely get a lot of joy out of that. And then I worked up here in Sterling for a while, just on a ranch, and I definitely enjoy it, but having my own and knowing what to expect from them, because I know all their background and they've gotten the opportunity to learn as young colts, I've definitely gotten the most from that for myself. Just, I know what to expect from my own horses, so I'm definitely enjoying that part of things.
What are a guy says this stud ought to make a nice horse for you to ride then.
Yeah, yes. That's definitely the goal. I want to be able to use him. And he's really so mellow and willing that he'll be a good riding horse, along with having the job of breeding some mares.
Hey, how about your kids? How do they enjoy the horses? How many kids do you have, and how old are they?
So I have 6 kids, from 25 to my youngest is 13. Some of the kids definitely have enjoyed the horses. My oldest daughter, she she rode quite a bit, and she rode in the parades and what have you. And she, she's grown up now. She has kids, so she's kind of moved away and moved on. And she was probably the one that spent the most time riding and enjoying the horses. But
well, she's close enough where you can get the grandkids involved.
Well, she's just getting out of the Navy. She's been in the Navy for 6 years, so she's just getting out in September. So
well, that's
not a lot of opportunity, unfortunately.
No, heck, it'd be fun to have the grandkids ride if you had the opportunity. Well, horses are. What do you feel horses do for you? Why have you been so interested in them?
Well, I guess, it's kind of my stress relief, too. I have 6 kids. I work a full-time job. So, I really enjoy getting out and spending that time working with them and just connecting with the animal.
They can be kind of fun. It's even fun just grooming them, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
You say work stress reliever. That beats going to a psychiatrist, I would think.
Oh, for sure.
What kind of work do you do?
So I work in law enforcement.
Oh, I'll have to be careful if I'm driving through Sterling then.
Well, only if you're planning on going to prison.
Oh, okay. What do you do? What's your job in law enforcement?
So I'm a correctional officer at the prison here. So.
Well, that's a tough job, and congratulations on the work that you're doing, because somebody needs to do it, and it's great that you're doing it. Anything else you'd like to add about horses that I haven't asked you about?
Nope, I think we're good.
Sonny Watterson raising some Norwegian Fjord horses at Sterling, Colorado. Interesting breed of horses, the Fjords. Also good to have J.D. Lowing with us on the first half of the program, where they've been raising those quarter horses for over 40 years. And it was interesting information from Jan Parker about the horse sale at Billings, particularly all the loose horses that they had, and the price held up well on those. So that was an interesting bit of information as far as I was concerned. And you'll always find some interesting bits of information here on the Horseman's Corner. Next week, we're going to have another horse breeder and some information about a horse sale that's coming up on the program. And we're going to try to find some information from a good trainer from across the country and see what they have to say about how we ought to be handling our horses. Well, it's always good to have you with us here on the Horseman's Corner. Glad you could join us, and hope you'll come back and do it again. It's time to close it out, so I'm Howard Hale, host of the program. I'll say goodbye. May God bless. See you next week, same time, same place.